One of the frustrations of casting is that you know your technique is fairly good. You've practiced it a lot, so you know that all the basic steps are in place. But somehow, no matter how hard you practice, you don't get any more distance. And what you do get is very stressful. You have to put in enormous power for very little return. The reason for it is that we become pressurized, we get stressed, our mind starts to work against whatever it is we're trying to do. You can find this out for yourself quite easily. When you go to practice your casting on a field, I bet that the first 2 or 3 casts you do are nice and smooth. You're not making any effort, you're just trying to straighten the line and get everything running properly. And they go a nice distance, and then you think, okay, now I'll start trying. And you cast harder and harder, and you get a little bit further perhaps, but nowhere near as far as you think you ought to be getting. And the reason for that is very simple. You've got too much stress inside your head. There's only one way to get rid of that, and that's to change the way you think about casting. What happens is when you get pressurized and stressed, your muscles don't flow properly. Normally your technique will be nice and smooth like so, but suddenly when you start trying, it's all like this and you're really tense. Let me show you. I'm going to use a hammer because at the moment I can't travel anywhere because of the COVID. So let's look at it another way. When you're hammering and you're nicely relaxed, everything's moving easily. Got action in the wrist here, elbows moving, shoulders moving. It's effortless. Driving in a nail takes no effort at all. Now, as soon as you start trying hard, this is what happens. And you can see this most easily when you watch someone who's never used a hammer before. They grip it like death. There's no movement here, there's no movement there. The hammer in action is all like this. It's very hard work. It's inaccurate and there is no power coming from the hammer. Relax, let it flow, and everything goes back to normal, and it is so easy. Exactly the same thing happens when you're casting. When you're not trying, such as with the first few casts you make on a practice session, everything flows nicely. One of the big factors in this is that most people, when they start to cast reasonably well, they have a target in mind. Let's say it's 200 meters. Every cast you make that doesn't get to 200 meters gives negative feedback in your head. It's seen as a failure. The more you try, the worse it gets. If there's one thing you need to do, it's stop trying. Just relax. So, what can we do? We need to trick our mind. So what we'll do, instead of trying to cast to a distance, we'll cast from a distance. And we do that by choosing a distance which is 15 or 20 meters less than we know we can cast, put in a marker, and then just aim to cast over it or around it smoothly, easily. You might need to keep doing this for quite a while, but you'll suddenly find that your distances increase, perhaps quite a lot. That's because you're flowing properly, and the better you flow, the more distance you'll get. And the point will come where you can say, right, I'm going to do this the same but a bit quicker. Same flow, same relaxation, just quicker. That's when the distances really start to improve. And that's what you want to aim for. Put your marker in, cast over it. After a while, when your distances have improved, don't choose some target up there in the world record class and think you're going to get there, because you probably are not going to. Just move your marker up, whatever feels comfortable, 10 meters, 20 meters. Go through the same process again and again and again. Just keep doing it and you'll find that you'll get an awful lot better. We let things flow, and then we just get more and more positive about what's going on, and we await developments. We don't try to force them, we just go with the flow, and all will be well.